What's going on, everyone? Dip Consultant here. I saw some of your guys and gals comments kind of telling me, well, that seemed like you were kind of a dick yesterday about your video and maybe a little bit standoffish. I don't know. Well, I'm here to tell you why I kind of somewhat really don't think that the word standoffish would fit that category because of many reasons why I will stand behind what I say. The biggest reason of all is because in a game of chess, you gotta be humble. You gotta be humble. You will get humbled. There are times in chess where you may feel like you have the love and compassion for it and the understanding of it, but you are gonna get humbled because you um don't really understand the formalities of chess and what really it entails in depth details about it. I hear chess players online all the time talking mad shit, saying that they're so close to being GM, and then other players saying, well, prove it to me. Then you kind of get the other players going, why do I gotta prove anything to you? I don't gotta prove anything to you or anyone. I gotta prove things to myself. I do stand behind that in reality in chess. That is a reality that you have to face. That, yes, other chess players want you to prove to them that you are good. But at the same time, it is not worth trying to prove to them because they don't understand. Those are the players that don't understand and respect, love, and have the total understanding that chess isn't just a game. It's an art form. It's an art form that takes years of different concepts of moves that you have to memorize. You have to memorize a good opening, a good middle game, and a good end game. And you have to memorize those three things every time you play. And you're not trying to prove in chess really anything. It's not about, well, my truck's bigger than your truck, or my dad's house is better than your dad's house. No, it's not like two kids in the sandbox throwing sand at each other. No, in chess, this is an adult game. That, yes, there are kids that play chess, but those kids that are like almost grandmaster level are really smart at chess. They have always had the understanding of chess. They understand the concept of it's not about proving nothing to no one. It's about proving to yourself that you have adapted different moves, different techniques, different openings, different abilities in your own little sort of way. You're growing. It's like you're a flower, you're growing. As you grow, you will become more and more better at learning things. And as you grow to learn more, you will understand that chess isn't really about trying to prove just how good you are. It's about proving to yourself that you have taken a lot of time out of the day to, whether you're reading books about it, watching videos on it, or actually playing, but you have been there, done that. You have taken L's, you have learned from your L's, and learned to not do those mistakes again, like take your queen out early or use certain moves that really are legitimately useless in the game of chess, like the egg move or the cow move. Moves that just really are stupid, that are pointless. And you kind of want to understand that people aren't there to try to bully people into proving something to anyone in chess. But there are times where you're playing online chess or maybe professional chess. Yes, you might get some of those shit talkers that really think they're really badass and they're big and bad and they all of that in a bag of chips, and they're not. Because when you watch them, more than likely, if they play against somebody that knows more about the game of chess and has the understanding and love for chess a little bit more than they do, they get humbled like that. Just that quickly. They get humbled. They get shut up. Now, I'm not saying that I have never been humbled. I will say I have numerous times. I know it's probably a very hard concept for y'all to understand sometimes with being humbled. It just hurts your pride. And yes, it kind of hurt my pride the times I had to be humbled, and I thought I was on a roll and I was so good. I was really badass, and I thought, man, I could basically destroy anyone in chess, and realizing that that wasn't really the truth. I I know that there are certain people that are grandmasters that would destroy me instantly. Like I said, Magnus Carlsen, Bobby Fischer, Hikaru, they would all destroy me if I popped off like that. And that's the thing, is that chess humbles you. It teaches you to stay grounded. It teaches you that you gotta focus on you, on your skills, your abilities. Learn to adapt different unique techniques that you can incorporate in the game, that maybe sometimes, not all the time, you have to do like the Sicilian opening. You can do different openings and maybe get a good outcome of it, or maybe not so good outcome of it. But you're learning to adapt different techniques that are something that you can maybe hold later near and dear to your heart, and that you can teach other people or tell other people, hey, this is what I've learned, this is my understanding of it, or maybe this is a technique that you should try, but make it your own way. Make it your own move, sort of way. Um, and people do that in chess a lot because, yes, they will use the Sicilian. There's so many variations of the Sicilian that I can name, but I'm not going to name them all because that would take too damn long. But any variation of the Sicilian or the Queen's Gambit that you use, you'll learn later in time that sometimes it's not always going to be a win outcome. You might have a loss to it. But that's okay. You learn from it. You humble yourself. You go down one elo, and for you folks wondering what elo means, it's your level of chess playing that they have in chess playing. That tells you what your level is, to whether you're low elo, like 100, that's low, to the 2000s elo, which is probably damn near close to Grandmaster or a Grandmaster type elo level. Sometimes when I think of it this way, I really understand it a little bit more now than ever. Even though I may not have like a big Grandmaster elo, or I may not have the title of GM, which is Grandmaster, I have what's called the mentality for the playing style or skills of a GM, a Grandmaster. Yes, even if you have a playing style or you play or have the mindset of a GM, you can still lose. You can still be humbled. But again, you're not there to prove anything to anybody but to you. The game is to be better every day that you play by learning. And I've learned that even though I may have a GM type thinking process of different moves and variations and combos that I can unlock in every different game, it doesn't always mean that I'm going to win. It just means that I know for a fact that a lot of the ways that I play are like how GMs play. Very well played out, thought out process of elimination as to what would be a better appropriate move than a beginner would understand. A beginner would never understand what I'm doing. They would be confused. Or they may get cocky and think, oh, that's a piss poor move. Well, maybe. But did you look at where my pieces are, what I'm doing? Are you understanding that there is a potential you could get checkmated in maybe 2 to 3 moves, or even 1 move? Because it's possible next move you may get checkmated. No, I didn't see that. Well, you don't see that because, again, you're thinking that your confidence is what will help you in the game. It's not confidence. It's your brain and your skill level of knowing what to do and what not to do in a certain situation. A lot of players will be good and know good moves, but that doesn't always mean that that is going to be a potential win game for them. It may cost them, or they may have to sacrifice another piece just to be able to potentially have a win. Sometimes you have to do things like give up your queen in order to potentially have that win. See, confidence means little in the game. Saying that you are better than somebody in chess basically tells everyone that you lack the capacity of really understanding chess. And that's why I say what I said yesterday, and why I stand behind what I say yesterday. Because a lot of people don't think like that. I think like a grandmaster. I move my pieces sometimes like what grandmasters would play. Because I understand that there is always that potential of not just taking the loss, but potentially being humbled by losing a piece that I thought was going to be okay just sitting there for maybe 1 or 2 moves, and now it's gone and I don't have that, and now I have to come up with plan B or C or Z to figure out whether or not I can potentially win, or if I have to end up in a draw or resign because it's not going to be a win for me. You got to think like that. You got to think more intelligently when you're playing. And that's why I say chess is not for everyone. It's not for the faint of heart. You got to have the mentality to put in your reps, your work. You got to work to get to where you are, to where you want to be. And it's just not that simple. Yes, you can watch videos and read books and play all you want. But that don't mean jack shit until you actually had a good few wins. Until you've started to really understand the in-depth concept of it. That's where I stand. So, anyway, you guys, pack fat lips, suck big tits. Don't forget the castle. I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.